everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be recapping my second trimester already. Oh my goodness, where has the time gone? Like today as I film this, what am I, 26 weeks, so I am rolling into my third trimester, which is crazy because I don't know, I feel like I just announced it to the world like yesterday, but of course it's been like months. So let's just get right into it. Just a few brief things I forgot to mention in my first trimester, one being that I actually had headaches in my first trimester, and I would say I probably had, I had like a good handful to maybe like, I'd probably say like a handful and a half. So I had a few headaches and it was really weird because they would always start like on my left side of my head, and then like sometimes they would just stay there, sometimes it would switch to my right, or sometimes it would just kind of go all the way around. But most of the time it stayed on my left side. I did have to take, you know, like the Tylenol that you're allowed to take when you're pregnant. That helped. But I think most of the time it was weird because even though I was sleeping a lot, that was like another thing, was like exhaustion. Literally, I was so tired all the time in my first trimester that I was forced to take naps, and normally I'm not too much of a like a napper. So I literally, my body just like forced me to take naps. But I feel like it's like I slept so much that you think that I wouldn't have gotten headaches. But anyways, moving on to my second trimester. Here is my second trimester recap. I feel like there's not too much on this, but
let's get into it.
2 weeks into my second trimester, that's when my nausea finally stopped. You know, some people can have nausea like throughout the entire pregnancy, and most of the times though, like your second trimester, from what I heard, is like a lot better than your first, and it was, at least in that aspect, because I was able to eat again, and I wasn't like nauseous anymore, so that was fantastic. But while I was still nauseous, I ended up getting these Preggy Pop drops from Target. So they look like this. Not sponsored at all, obviously. It's just something that like I came across and I was like, okay, I need to try something. It says natural way to ease morning sickness. The thing about this is that it's pretty much just like all sugar. The ingredients are dried cane syrup, corn syrup, citric acid, and natural flavors made with essential oils and natural colors. So I don't know, like I said, if they were necessarily the best thing, but that's just something that I tried and it helped me a lot because I was working this random job. I would have to get up in the morning, and so I was still sick, so I would be nauseous and I would pop one of these, or sometimes I would throw up and then pop one of these and I'd be okay. So no more nausea. That was amazing. I could eat things again. And speaking of eating, my first trimester, I told you guys that I had lost a total of 6 pounds, and you know, I'm already like small and petite, so that was not cool. But since then, I think I put on like over 10 pounds now, maybe more. So I'm doing good for like my size, like my weight, which is great. And then obviously, like, you know, my next trimester, it's gonna be the holidays, so all I'm gonna do is eat. I'm like heading in the right direction, so I think we're good as far as like my weight gain goes. I've been able to eat the second trimester, so I've been eating, and let me tell you something, I've been eating a lot of sugar, more than I like ever have. As far as like any cravings, though, I really had a strong craving for chocolate ice cream and cantaloupe, and honestly just anything that was sugar. So now I'm trying to, you know, kind of tone it down because I don't want to keep eating sugar all the time, especially because I got my glucose test coming up about like 3 weeks. Overall though, I would say like I've been feeling pretty good. Something that definitely took me by surprise was my sleep. My second trimester was really tough. Now I am someone who's always had like sleep problems. So, but this, I don't know if it really was like sleep problems, like Anna's sleep problems, or if it was pregnancy problems. It's weird because I'm somebody who like feels like sometimes like I sleep, but then like I know I sleep, but I also don't feel like I slept. So it's kind of like this weird sleep battle. So that was happening a lot. I've been doing better now, but I really don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just something that happens in pregnancy. I'm sure it probably is, but I was not able to sleep. So sometimes I really wouldn't go to sleep until 3 or 4 in the morning. And I could feel that it was taking a toll on me. Even like I said, I know I'm sleeping. Like I have a Fitbit that like tracks my sleep and you know, it shows the results. But at the same time, like I said, I just didn't feel rested. So it did kind of start to take a toll on me. But what was happening was that like, let's say I was up at like midnight and then I was really tired, but I couldn't go to sleep because I was starving. So then I had to eat and then I had to digest and then I could lay down. And then when I'm laying down, trying to get comfy, I would have to go pee. And the baby, it's like, there must not be enough room for a full bladder and baby because baby would literally like punch or kick at my bladder. So I'd literally be forced to get up and go to the bathroom. So after like dealing with that for weeks, I decided to try to do like some type of bedtime routine. And I think it only lasted a week. But what it was is that I would try to eat at like 10:30, 11 at the latest, and then drink something. And so then if I had to use the restroom, I knew usually it's like an hour later after I drink something, then I gotta go. So I knew that I could go by like midnight and then brush my teeth and then get ready for bed and then get off my phone, because I feel like that was my main culprit, was being on my phone. It worked like the first night and then like the first time I did it, and then just I don't know. Now though, I would say like it's getting better. I'm not sure. I think it's because like I've kind of put in my brain to like go to sleep earlier, because I feel like I've been trying to like sleep train myself to go to sleep earlier. It's been going better. However, something else that is now bothering me, I told you guys about the hormone relaxin that's released throughout the body when you're pregnant. It basically relaxes your joints, so you could like be more susceptible to injuries or just your joints kind of being messed up. I'm not a fan. So when I sleep, another thing, you know, I would be uncomfortable. But this is why. It's because my belly is growing bigger. I can't sleep on my back and I can't sleep on my stomach. And so you have to sleep on your sides. Now I know there's this thing where it's like the left side is best, but you can still sleep on your right side. I'm someone who can't just stay on one side. I do have to toss and turn. I do toss and turn. What's been happening is that I feel like all the weight of the baby and me, you know, is chilling on my left side, because I feel like I lay on my left side the longest. So I feel like it takes a toll on my hips, especially like my left hip. Now, I will say though, I'm someone who's kind of always had hip issues.
A long time ago.
My hip was like kind of moved out of place, and so I have been going to a chiropractor for years, and then I was weightlifting so I can like strengthen the muscles so that my adjustments would stay. Well, of course, this year, ever since the pandemic, ever since we shut down, and ever since I became pregnant, I have not been working out. So I have lost all my muscles. So, you know, nothing is staying where it's supposed to be. So this hormone relaxin is making my hips shift a lot, and my back. So if you, like at night when I toss and I turn, my back cracks and then my hips crack super loud. So I'm uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. And I will say though, I think my hip issue though could be an issue of that my hip is out of place. It gets out of place. Like I know my body. I know when I have like a knot with muscles, I know if something's kind of like out of place. Like I just know. So I feel like my hip is out of place, my left hip. And just recently, like my pelvic area, I don't know if it's my bones, my joints, or like muscles in that area, but they have become super, super sore. Like I used to be able to do like what they call like the Hindi squat, where you literally like squat all the way down and you can put your elbows between your knees and like push them out. The other day I was trying to do that, and oh my goodness, I literally felt like I was tearing stuff in my pelvic area. So that was uncomfortable. But the other thing too is with my hip, I feel like it's also affecting my groin. My groin
area? Yeah.
On my left side. So when I walk, I feel like I almost have like a weird limp to me. So I'm gonna look into that and go get it checked out because it's very uncomfortable. So even after all that though, I am doing better with sleeping. So if that counts for anything. As far as like body changes, obviously the hips kind of fall into that too. But my chest, once again, sorry, this is TMI, but this is how pregnancy goes, and I'm just honest and upfront. Starting to get stretch marks underneath the breasts, and obviously nipple area has become really, really dark. And that's just, they say that happens, you know, it just changes colors. Oh, and then my stomach, you know, that line that you see is starting to become darker, and I'm starting to get the one that comes like the up top one. So that's really it as far as like body changes, so nothing too drastic. As far as doctor's appointments go, I've only had a few. Most of them were just checkups, you know, just to hear baby's heartbeat. But the big one, of course, was the anatomy scan, like the ultrasound, the 20 weeks. So we went to that, obviously me and my boyfriend, we went to that, and that was amazing. It was like almost an hour appointment, but you literally could see your baby. I could see my baby. And it was like so cool to see, because I hadn't seen anything since I went in at 6 weeks, and it was just a little speck. And then all of a sudden it was like, it looked like a full-grown baby in there. And I was like, oh my goodness, what? And so that was so exciting. You could see everything, which is wild. I don't even know how, you know, people came up with this technology. It like blows my mind. We saw that, and then I know, like, from other people's stories, like sometimes like after the anatomy scan, sometimes you have to wait to hear like results. And I don't know if you have to wait if it's bad, because we didn't have to wait. Like we had the anatomy scan, and then right after we met with this doctor dude who, I don't know, he must have been like a specialist or something. So he told us that our baby was literally perfectly healthy. Nothing was wrong with the baby, you know, heart, lungs, head size, weight, spine, you know, internal stuff, everything was like legit health. That made me really happy, because obviously, like, I have no idea what's going on in there. So I don't know if baby is growing healthy. I don't know if baby's putting on the weight that they need to put on. You know, you just don't know. So that was a weight off my shoulders, because you can't see what's going on inside your belly. So, and like I said, I hadn't seen my baby since I was 6 weeks. So it was really like helpful to know that my baby was growing healthy. A couple hours after that, Dr. Dude, we met with my doctor, and she kind of just told us the same thing. And we listened to the heartbeat again, and she sent us on our way. So nothing too crazy with that, because everything turned out to be great, you know. So yeah, that was it for doctor's appointments. Most of them were just checkups. My next one coming up that's big is my glucose test, like I told you guys in my last video. So I will definitely be talking about that later on to tell you all how it goes. But yeah, so I think that's it for today's video. Thanks again, guys, for watching. If you have any you know, any comments, any video ideas, any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. You know, of course, like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to be notified when I do upload, you can press that little bell icon. I'll see you guys in my next video. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye.